just wanted to congratulate you on the upcoming release for God Made. And I'm curious why the message of this track is just so important to you personally.
I just think that we're living in a time where people are kind of questioning themselves, doubting themselves, and feeling like they have to live up to other people's standards. And it's a lot going on that's kind of bringing I want to say a low self-esteem attitude in the culture. And I want to build people up and let them know that they are uniquely designed by God, and God loves everything about them, and they should celebrate that, and celebrate that they are God made. They were made in His image, and that's it. And they don't have to live up to anybody else's standards. They can be who they are because their journey has made them who they are. And none of us had any say so in how we were born, where we were born, what skin we were born in, what country we were born in. None of us had any say so in that. So I think you need to celebrate where you are because God doesn't make mistakes.
Absolutely. I'm curious with that message if there's a particular lyric that stands out for you that you think most encapsulates that.
I like the first few lines. I said, I'm a man who had to fight just to get ahead. Maybe that explains why I'm rough around the edge. But at the core of me, I have a heart made of gold. I'm confident and bold, and I'm trying to win souls. And so I love that first line because it speaks to my journey. A lot of people look at you and they can easily come to a conclusion or judge you, but they never consider what you had to go through to get to where you are. Nobody ever thinks about that. Like, why is that person thinking like that? Why are they the way they are? Well, it's because of their journey. For some of us, it hasn't been easy. And to achieve some kind of success in a culture that was not designed for you to be successful, that should be celebrated.
Absolutely. And I know alongside the music, you also have a music video that pairs with that. So I'm just curious, taking us back to when you were filming that, if there's something that kind of surprised you most about the experience or looking back kind of stands out most to you?
Well, I wanted my kids to be a part of the video because on the second verse is kind of me speaking to them and empowering them, letting them know they're the next generation. I was telling them, hey, when you know Jesus for yourself, you don't need validation from anybody else. When you're not afraid to stand on your own, that's when you're ready for your crown and be seated on your throne. And I was talking to my kids, and they said, okay, Daddy, we'll do it, whatever. But when we got to the video set, they really gave me a whole lot of energy. They were invested in it. And I was like, okay, my little superstars are showing up at the right time. So I'll never forget that. Like my son, he's very quiet and reserved, but when the lights and camera hit him, he turned into little Deitrick Haddon, a little superstar. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. I'm curious, since you've shared how, what this message means to you and the heart behind this song, how that kind of impacts what you're going to define as success for this single compared to other projects of yours.
Well, I just wanted to put this song out to encourage people. My measure of success for this song is people being motivated and inspired to celebrate who they are and know that they don't have to live up to anybody's standards, and just empower people. If they can, if I see people encouraged and ready to move on and celebrate who they are, then that's a level of success for me. I didn't write this song to try to hit the charts and be number one and be this guy. I just wanted to make great music. And that's the place where I'm in now with my own label. I've been on record labels pretty much my entire career. I spent 12 years on RCA. I spent a significant amount of years on all these different labels. And now finally I have my freedom, and I'm just making great music that means the world to me, music that matters. Music that will, I call it legacy music. That at this point I want to make a statement. It's not about all the commercialism of it and trying to hit the charts and be this great superstar. I just want to make music that matters, you know.
Absolutely. I'm curious with you mentioning that how the sound of your music, not just the lyrics, but also the sound of it has kind of given you the freedom, and where you see some of that different for this as well.
Yeah, and I've always been that guy to push the envelope, to push the sound. I believe in progressive gospel music. Being innovative, not being behind any other genre sonically when it comes to production. I think the production value should always be, especially if you're representing God, it has to be excellent. And so I'm big on that, and I also believe in freedom, musical freedom, because I listen to all genres of music, and I believe that, like I said, if you're representing God, it should be at a level. It should be number one with the sound, with the lyrical content, the presentation. All of us should be number one. It should be excellent, and that's where I am with it. And so I love this music that I'm doing now because I have nobody telling me what I can't do. That won't work for this format. You got to do this. You got to turn up the guitar for this, or be more choir. Give me a choir in the background, and give me this sound. That sounds like gospel. This sounds like gospel. No, gospel is the good news, and it should come from your creativity. It should come from your heart. And when it comes from your heart, it will reach hearts.
Mhm.
And so I love the fact that I don't have all those variables that kind of have driven my career. You have these A&R guys saying, hey, you can't do that, you can't do this. I don't have none of that now. It's just me. I'm my own A&R guy saying, doing what I feel like I should be doing to connect with my supporters.
Absolutely. That's great to hear. And I'll close with one final question for you. And it's, what are you most expectant for in this year, music or not music related?
What am I'm expected for from others or for myself?
Well, I that's a great question. I had meant it more for yourself, but if you want to take it elsewhere, that's fine with me too.
I'm just in such a creative place. I'm looking to just really explore my creativity. That's why I started the year out with launching my own shoe line. Designing my shoes and putting together patterns and quality of material and things like that, and creating shoes and developing shoes. So I'm just in a very creative space, and so I expect there's no limit to the creativity that God has given all of us. We're God made, and I want to just really explore that. So that's what people are going to experience from me this year, exploring. I have a new film coming out in June called The Fallen. I partnered with Swirl Films out of Atlanta, and that's dropping in June. The shoe line is out now, and more music. I'm just dropping all this creative music to just inspire people. So creativity is what you should expect from me this year.
That's awesome. I just want to thank you again for taking the time to talk, and I'm looking forward for what's all in store from you this year.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.